Yeah. Of course.
Like I said, people will start asking questions like, "What are you? A game channel or entertainment channel?"
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And if someone has to ask you that question, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, dude, that's cool what they just did to the thing. So when you create the event on OBS, um, so when you create the event on YouTube, how they do it is it automatically will link to your
Like I said,
OBS
people
in
will
general,
start
so
asking
you don't have to do
questions like,
those
"What
two
are you? A game
login
channel or
things.
entertainment channel?"
You don't have to do
Go
that
on.
no more. Yeah, you don't have to
What are
do
you
that no
talking
more.
about?
For
What do you mean login? What login things?
like when you do your show, when you set up to do the show, whatever on your
Yeah,
channel,
yeah.
um after you pretty much set up the like after you do it on your channel, you put it together on the actual channel. What it will do is it will stay there, but obviously until you hit start broadcast. But however, now apparently according to this, because what I just did was all I did was turn on OBS and I hit go live, and then all of a sudden it said, oh, please select your event. I select the event that was already put up on, because I already put it up on the channel.
Oh, so it's all
So it's
automated.
all
So link.
automated, and I just click that, and I click go
So
live,
are
and then
you
it's
saying you
synced.
no longer have to do the copy? So are you saying anyone that's starting up OBS
Can
for
get
the
straight
first
into it.
time, does I have to do all that copying and pasting the URLs and all that stuff?
It very well might be. From what I just looked at, that was pretty interesting. That was new. Oh
Well, that's nice. It came too late for me though,
yeah.
because I had to climb the mountain to get this all set up.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad they streamlined it for others. Then I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
well, we
Yeah.
live.
Oh yeah, we're live. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Welcome. Good to see you guys. Make sure everybody can be heard. Yeah, for sure we're live. Yeah, we're live. What's up? What's up, Lobo? Dominic. What was that? Oh, Christina, what's up? We have Dawn and Nico. What's up, brother? Hit that like button. Hit that follow or no, I said follow.
I'm
Hit
gonna.
that like button. Hit that share button. Let's reach more gamers.
I was gonna say.
Let's have some
I'm gonna
fun.
just say hello to everyone in the chat from now because I'm not typing. I can't. I'm tired.
Ah.
I'm not. I'm not even feeling great today. I'm doing this because I'm in bed actually. So
All
let's
right.
let's
Oh,
let's.
okay. Well, you're out of it then. What's up, Craig?
Yo, what's happening?
What is
What's
going
happening,
on? Good to
everybody?
see you.
Not a whole lot. Just enjoying my Friday. Start playing that Star Wars game some more, and I'm stuck again in the Jedi thing, whatever these things are called. And so I'll be going on
Oh,
YouTube a little bit later to get my cheat on. So,
yeah. I see. I see. He's
but a
like,
fun
oh shit.
game. Enjoying the game.
Oh
Fun
yeah,
game.
definitely on mine. I don't know where Carlos is. I think Carlos will be here in a few minutes. So until then, we'll just start without him. What's going on? Again, welcome to RG Podcast. We are live. Good to see everybody in the chat. What's up, Lay? Balance Game, what's up? Or Balance Game, what's up? And anybody else who I might have missed in the chat if I don't see you, YouTube. YouTube takes a minute, but man, it's a lot to go over. A lot to go over this week. A lot has happened in general. Definitely a lot has happened. And we're definitely going to go over this. So let's go into one of the big rumor, well, not even a rumor. Let's go into one of the big things happening right now. Not just on the Twitter scene, but also on YouTube. You already know you can't really escape it. From this point on, you can't really escape it. It's going to be a topic until whatever happens on the show. But yeah, we're going to talk about this first. So let's go ahead and start. Here's the actual gameplay. No, all right. So let's start the show. The Game Awards, ladies and gentlemen. The Game Awards, as in a couple days, not too far away, and ever since the Game Awards has been even mentioned, obviously the whole, and I can't believe I'm saying this shit, but ever since the Game Awards has been mentioned, the damn drama between, I guess you can say, Death Stranding and fucking uh, Jeff
What, Jeff
Keighley has
Keighley?
been,
And
yeah,
it's so fucking dumb.
it's so stupid. Listen, I said this before. When me and Craig and a few others made fun of the whole thing. Right, we were live. We made fun of it. It was funny ass stream. Me, Craig, and Carlos. We made fun of this shit. I
Yeah,
find it
but
interesting that a lot of people are
mm,
putting so much stock into this entire Game Award shit. The deciding factor
it's
for
important.
how good the game is ultimately is going to come down to you and you playing the game. I don't know
Yeah,
why
but it's
people so much
important. It's
put into it.
important to people, though, isn't it? People with very small testicles. They need something to make them feel manly.
It's like one of the saddest things I have ever fucking seen. I didn't think it would be this fucking low. This whole shit, this whole drama behind the fucking Game Awards. Now we talked about this before. I could swear we said this before. Like it was a while ago, right? It was like on a few of the podcasts ago. We talked about how Death Stranding might indeed get like a might get like a crazy spotlight because Jeff Keighley's in the game. Did we say something like that? Like you know, yeah, it was going to get prioritized. Again, not saying that he's going to like automatically give this game the win because that would delegitimize kind of the show and the point of it. Because you know, he's like, oh, I'm in it, so that means it's instantly game of the year. But again, we already know it was going to get some kind of special treatment. Y'all already know he idolizes Kojima. That is his hero. Everywhere Kojima goes, this man will go, quote unquote.
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
All right, we got, you know, all these people that are saying, oh, if Death Stranding wins this or if it wins that, and it's had all these nominations, it's because Jeff Keighley's in the game, so that's a conflict of interest, and he's buddies with Kojima, and yeah, so what? He doesn't choose. He's not in charge of picking the games. These are done outside of his control. He has no autonomy in which games are nominated or which games win.
Mm-hmm.
These are all from independent outlets, like the outlets, you know, maybe Games Radar, Kotaku, all of them, journalists, the people that seem to matter in the industry, they decide what gets picked. They decide ultimately. It's not him. And the fact that he's in the game and that he's going to give the game like a special privilege, so what? He'd be stupid not to. I mean, you know how much Hollywood talent is in that game. So, you know, he can get what's his name up there? You know, the guy that plays Sam Porter.
Right?
Norman
Reedus.
Reedus.
Yeah, he can get Norman Reedus up there. That's going to be good for his show because he's a face and he's known. Yeah, Leah Sadu, get her on there. She's a Hollywood star. Like, there's so many people. Mads Mikkelsen. There's so many people that could just bring so much credibility to his event that, you know, he is the founder of all he created it. At the end of the day, he'd be stupid not to use Death Stranding and the talent involved to not give his own show a boost. You'd have to be a complete muppet not to take advantage of something like that. And the added icing on the cake is he's friends, allegedly close with Kojima. So what does that mean then? Because he's close to him, the game should not even appear in any category or game of the year when he's not the one choosing it. Like, people just don't know what they're fucking talking about when they go on Twitter and chat shit, get exposed, go away for a few, like 48 hours, come back fresh and more trolling. Like, they're just dumb. People don't even want to do the research to find out how these games are selected. For fuck's sake, Phil Spencer himself voted for Death Stranding to be in the honors. So just pipe down. That's what I got to say to those morons. Sorry, I'm passionate about it, but I've been seeing some big name YouTubers, right, with some big followers and huge subscribers. And this is not me coming from a jealous place. This is me saying those people in a certain position of power, they command a huge audience. So they really should be more responsible in their tweets and the videos they put out. But some really dumb twats just love the controversy because they know it brings views. Therefore, if it brings views, it brings YouTube ad revenue. So that's so disingenuous. I'm sick to death of the fake, bad, terrible actors who are in command of substantially sized YouTube channels. I'm sick to death of them.
Yeah. The whole thing surrounding, again, I joked around when I said I hope it wins just to piss people off, but really, honestly, I don't know what to really I don't know what to really expect going into the Game Awards at this point. If they win, you already know it's going to be a shitstorm regardless. You know what I'm saying? Nobody pretty much is going to be able to let this shit down. It's going to be trending for a while.
Do you know what the good news is, though? Do you know what the good news is if you're Jeff Keighley or if you're Kojima? Do you know what the good news is?
What's the goodness?
That you don't give a fuck because none of those people are relevant to you. It's only relevant to those us here discussing it, and other people at the bottom of the pile on Twitter trying to make a name for themselves, or trying to get a few more subscribers, or trying to get themselves a bit of infamy on Twitter. But to people already in good, substantial positions in life within the gaming industry, like Kojima, yeah, this doesn't mean shit to him. Like, those people's opinions are just shit to him. Nothing.
Yeah.
He sits and talks to very important people who are in very high positions. He cares about their opinions, not your pathetic opinions, your behind the keyboard opinions. He don't give a shit about your opinions.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree. I think it's more the specter of the fact. I mean, the Gaming Awards is, I know it's a couple weeks away,
Yeah.
and just the fact that it might win. And again, I don't think it will win. I think the best game that's up there is Resident Evil 2. To me, it's a cakewalk
Yeah.
for Resident
Yeah.
Evil 2. But they just do not want it really shows how much they certain people hated the fact that God of War won. They hated that, and
Yes.
so
Yeah.
and now they're stuck with a lot of the same people, not all the same people, are stuck here in the next 2.5-3 weeks with the specter of Death Stranding possibly winning. And so yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. And yeah, I don't disagree with what you said, Foxy. Also, congratulations on the getting the 4K TV thing. I saw that.
Yeah, that's good.
Congrats
That's
on that.
big.
Keep up the
Congrats,
good
bro.
work. Yeah, and yeah, it's you hear, well, it's console war. They feel that Gears got slighted, and it's just kind of like, okay, but Gears didn't get slighted. And Gears is not that good of a game, and it's Gears. I didn't say it's not. I'm not saying it's not fun, but they didn't innovate anything about that game. They didn't. But it's So yeah, I agree with you, Big Cloud. It would be funny to see what happened if Death Stranding did
Because
win.
you already know Twitter is just
Yeah.
not going to calm down for a long time. It's going to be so hectic just looking at the situation. Again, my personal game of the year was personally Resident Evil 2 as well. I loved that game. I thought that it was more deserving. I thought Capcom in general brought themselves back, But man, that's crazy how much it will go there. Yeah.
Do you know it's funny? You mentioned Resident Evil 2 remake, and some people are mentioning Devil May Cry hasn't even got the wink, let alone the nod. I've literally just started playing Devil May Cry 5, and I'm blown away visually.
Yeah.
I can't say much about the gameplay yet because literally just done 2 trophies. I haven't even played it for long. I haven't even started Resident Evil Remake. I mean, these are games I own, and I haven't even, because I just like to finish games before I start new games. That's just me. So I could buy a game and I've got it for 4 or 5 months and I haven't even started it because I like to finish games. That's just the way I am before I start new ones. But you know what, the common. We got to read between the lines here. I mean, Craig hit the nail on the head. He said the same outcry for God of War. Okay, we had this thing over Spider-Man releasing in the Puddlegate, and all the subpoenas and impeachments that brought with it. But there's you just even Uncharted 4, it's never gonna look like that in-game
somebody remove
real
this
time.
clown from my chat, please. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh, no, I'm talking about this dude in the chat. Somebody remove this clown from my chat, this Master Chief moron out of here. Thank you.
When Uncharted 4, the trailer was shown at PSX or wherever they first showed it, so many people are saying it's never going to look like that when it releases on the PlayStation 4, and it looked even better. God of War winning Game of the Year, and now Death Stranding being nominated 10 times, including Game of the Year. What is the common link here? When you look at all of these naysayers, you got to read between the lines. You got to say, why do they hate this? Why do they not want this? Why do they not want that to happen? It's because it's all related to PlayStation.
Yeah,
that is the link. That is the underlying motive behind all of this naysaying and bitching. It's because it's linked to Sony, therefore linked to PlayStation. Because if these were games like maybe on the PC, where people won't throw their hat in the race, so to speak. I mean, I like to think they're a bit more grown up over there on the PC side, but you know what I mean. If it had been PC games, I don't think it had the same outcry. Definitely if it was Xbox games, which wouldn't have a hope in hell of ever been a reality. But if God of War had been nominated as an Xbox game, you wouldn't have been hearing anyone saying, "Oh, it shouldn't have won." If Death Stranding was an Xbox game, you wouldn't be hearing anyone saying it shouldn't be nominated. It's because it's related to PlayStation, it's connected to PlayStation, and therefore some people just, I don't know how you can hate a brand like it's a real thing, like it's a living, breathing thing. I don't know how anyone can hate anyway, but I understand there are people that hate people, but how can you hate a brand?
Well, it goes back to
emotionally hate a brand. I mean, if you had a bad experience with, say I bought a new brand that I don't know and it was crap, the product was crap, maybe I'll say I'll never buy that again. Right. But I won't walk around with vitriol and every forum I go in, mention this brand and like for 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, keep going on and on and on about this brand that I had a terrible experience with. That's just mental illness to me.
Well, again, I just think it goes back to the very beginning. They really do not like the direction. That's the word I'm looking for. That Microsoft is going in with the Xbox, but they're stuck. I mean, again, it's like they're stuck where they are because their friends have it. They had a really good gaming experience on it. And they don't want to let it go, but they don't like what they're doing. And yeah, it's tied to Sony. Sony is a company from overseas. It's dominating the market. So is Nintendo, and that's the way it's always been. But yeah, they feel that you go back to the beginning of the generation. They said it was a media bias. Nobody gave Microsoft a second chance, and it's just. They look at it and they see. I mean, they're hiding behind the Fire Emblem and all that stuff. Fair enough. I mean, I from what I could understand, Fire Emblem's a good game, but a lot of that stuff canceled each other out. And Foxy, you're right. The Spider-Man game, because it's not that it's a PlayStation game. It's that it's an exclusive game. They don't like the exclusivity that Sony has. So, and they think that because Microsoft has nothing exclusive.
But what are they worrying about? Do they think that it's going to embolden the platform when the platform's already swelling at 100+ million sold already? I mean, at this point in the game, what's the point in getting all bent out of shape? Sony dominated 8 years ago in this generation. It's not like they just dominated because they got to 100 mil. They've been dominating from 50 mil. They've been dominated from 40 mil, 30 mil. They've been dominating from.
Yeah, but Microsoft has actually changed the way they measure their success. That's how bad it's gotten. Yeah, and a lot of things are one-sided. Yeah, so if you're a media person and most of your readers, you can figure out most of your readers are either PC people or they have Xboxes or PlayStations. If you, like you said, if they sell 100 million, well, most of your media that comes out about gaming is going to be about PlayStation. You're not going to hear a whole lot, and not because again, that's where everybody is. That's where the majority of the gaming public is.
Do you remember I said that Xbox Game Pass, although it has its benefits and its positives, ultimately, I said that it kind of devalues, let's be honest, it devalues the AAA experience. When you can get it for $1.
Yeah.
And finish it for $1. That's devaluing a AAA experience, in my opinion. A quality game. Do you think that may be why a lot of Xbox games were overlooked? Like the panel might have thought, people choosing might have thought, well, it's all part of a service. It's all part of Game Pass. Nothing really stands out.
I mean, to me,
did Gears make? I'm sorry, I mean cut you, bro. But
no, go brother.
Did Gears 5 even make any headlines in terms of sales when it was out? Did it make?
Well, yeah, it did. It did have some good. It did. There was some good publicity and traction for about a week, and then maybe 2 weeks after that, I never heard anyone talking about Gears 5 anymore. Like for about 2 weeks, I heard people talking about Gears 5. Even I was saying how it looks beautiful but boring. Because it doesn't, to me, it's like playing the 360 games, just in amazing graphics. Like they haven't really done anything that makes it any different and new and fresh to me. Whereas, you play all the God of Wars on the PlayStation 2 and 3, and then you play it on 4, there's a distinct difference. With the PS4 God of War, distinct difference. It's almost like a different game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. And they've not had, and I did hear somebody say that I guess that wow moment that, oh, did you see that type of, feeling that that's happening? That's not happening this generation on Xbox. At no point has that happened. And a lot of them, I guess the term that the millennials use is feel some kind of way. A lot of them feel, and again, I'm speaking this because I got a phone call last night. Got a direct message. Somebody said, "Hey, give me a holler." So I called, and he was just, again, he'll remain nameless, but he's like, "Look, it's just he just feels that they're beating a dead horse. That people that they don't like the direction that things are going, but they are going to stay with the console. So even though you can say, hey." Phil Spencer said A, B, and C, and it can be true. It can be right there. You quote it, you source it, it's right there. They're going to say, "Oh, well, you're hating the Xbox, you're fear mongering," because they don't like the fact that Xbox put their games day and date. So they turned around and said, "Well, Sony's going to do it too." All right, so because now Sony's not going to do that, and now they look stupid. And then it's all
about PC. Remember when Microsoft said all our games are going to PC? Then
they don't like that either.
Any second party game that got announced that was on PS4, and we're talking second party, meaning not Sony first party developed.
Yeah.
So we're talking a second party studio that only released it on PS4, right? Whenever that developer announced it was coming to PC, everyone was jumping up for joy on that side, saying, "Yeah, they all PS4 games are going to PC, just like Xbox." Ha ha!
Yeah.
Exclusives are damaging to the industry.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Foxy, you're right. I mean, we're laughing about it, but that is what's happened. Is that they don't like the fact. Like, I remember listening to an Xbox podcast last year, and this guy literally said he feels like he's being oppressed because he games on Xbox. And that he feel like you just said, Foxy, that it's not right that there's content.
Wait, who said that? Sorry.
This is on an Xbox centric podcast. I'm not giving no names. I'm not making it up either.
The person said they feel oppressed.
Because they bought an Xbox and there's content out in the community, gaming community, that they don't have access to play.
You know what? The entitlement on these people. I can't believe I just heard that. This person feels oppressed when there are people who are really oppressed in countries.
Correct.
Who are oppressed by other human beings living in squalor, prisoners, oppressed women, oppressed children. And this person in their little first world environment with their luxury console feels oppressed.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Here, this super chat will go perfect on what you guys just described. This is from Courtney Burgess, $2 super chat. She said, "It's plain and simple. They're zealots." That's how she put it.
It was a cult. And I remember Big Cloud, when we had when Sony came out, announced, hey, they're going to start using Azure, stuff like that. What's the first thing these cats did? They literally did podcasts saying now Sony's going to put their games on Azure and we're all going to be able to play. Because and again, once when the people who lie constantly, eventually they tell you the truth. And their truth is, one, they don't like the fact that Xbox put games on PC. Two, they don't like the day and date thing on Game Pass. Foxy, you're 100% correct when they jumped up and down saying games are going to PC because now PC will put games on Xbox, which has not happened. And then when Sony did this thing, we saw. It's like we saw you guys, we heard you guys saying this, and so at the end of the day, they want the same games that are in the PlayStation community. They just don't want to have to go buy a PlayStation. I mean, that's the reality.
But
that's the reality.
But don't they see they're digging their own graves?
No, they don't.
You know why? Because they're upset that, they're secretly upset, right? That Microsoft decided to put all their games on PC.
Correct.
They're not happy that all of the games are available on Game Pass, even though they say they are happy. A lot of them, they have the same kind of similar belief that I have, in that it kind of does diminish each game individually. So rather than each game getting their marquee moment of marketing, it's all just lumped in as a, Game Pass, get yours for $1, trial, whatever. It's like they're not advertising the games. They're using the games to advertise Game Pass. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas Sony will have an advertising campaign. They'll spend probably 50, 100 million, 200 million on advertising Spider-Man all over the world and God of War all over the world. Each game gets its own spotlight. But sadly, because of Game Pass, these games aren't getting no spotlight. What they're getting is they're getting thrown into like a tumble dryer. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like a jambalaya. It's like a jambalaya.
It's like yeah, all you can eat buffet. It's like you look at these cheap buffets that you go to, right? $10. Eat till your spleen splits. Eat. Live here for 24 hours. Just eat all you can. All right. Now that food is generally not high quality food. There's a reason why you're only getting. There's a reason why you're getting so much and paying so little. But you go to your favorite higher class restaurant and you have a great meal and get great service. But when you go over to the buffet, you have to go over to your own plate. Some of them don't even let you have a new plate. You have to use the same old dirty plate you just got them refilled on. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not the greatest experience. It's just for hungry people, hungry people who want to eat for 3 days in advance.
Yeah, and again, they want and because the games are now available day and date, they think everything should be like that. So and they're now saying, and and Andrew in the chat is right, said that Sony is they're now saying Sony is arrogant about not putting their games day and date. They're not going to do that because they don't have to.
That's not arrogant. It's their business model. Yeah. It's always been their big. When did it become arrogant? When Microsoft decided not to do that. So anytime Microsoft does a fucked up move, that suits themselves, that suits their own ends less than gamers, but uses gamers as an excuse to do it. Oh, this is what they've been asking for. Phil Spencer says it all the time. Every time he comes out with a drastic change, he says this is what the fans have asked for. It's blame that this is what it's like he's trying to use Jedi mind tricks on you people. Don't you know? Every time Phil Spencer makes an announcement, he says, you've asked for it, you've asked for it, you wanted it, we're giving it to you. Whether it's like bend over because you asked us to give it to you that way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, but don't then try and push what you don't like onto other companies, hoping they'll do it to their fan base just because it's happening to you. It's like because someone shafted you up the anal passage and you don't like it. You don't like it. Everyone else should get shafted too. That's what you're saying. So you're saying if I'm going to be a slave, it's like if you're being enslaved, everyone should be a slave as well. Everybody.
Foxy, you're right. And it goes to, so you go back to the gaming awards. The gaming awards is just more proof that they've had a shitty generation. That's what, and so now they can say, well, it's rigged, it's not fair. Okay, so they thought because Death Stranding got a low Metacritic score that should hold it out of this gaming award. And again, I'm not here to say the game's going to win. I'm simply saying this is what these cats were thinking. Oh, and again, so you go back. Oh, if the game comes out, it's exclusive. They don't like that. So they run to an independent announced Metacritic. Well, Metacritic said this game's not that good. It's got a lower score. Therefore, it doesn't hurt us as bad. Look, we got the tweet from somebody in the community about the whole Spider-Man thing. Spider-Man's didn't get a high 90 like these ponies said, so it won't hurt us that bad. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I do believe now that they actually did believe that because Microsoft put out a more powerful console, that Sony's first party IP makers were just going to abandon Sony and go make games for Microsoft, because the reason why Microsoft lost this generation in their minds is because Sony had games at 1080p and Microsoft didn't, and they were multi-plats, which feeds the narrative of They still think multi-plat games are more important. They still think it, even though the Nintendo Switch is kicking them in the balls.
They're all important, though, aren't they?
They're all important.
They all add to the ecosystem.
Correct.
You know, if you don't like exclusives, then don't like them, don't buy them, don't entertain them, but don't go then telling everyone else that they shouldn't like them too, and that they're harmful to the industry. Just keep away from them yourself. You know, nobody says to you, "Oh, do you know what? I hate pizza. I hate ordering pizza. I demand you don't order pizza. You are not to order pizza. Do not walk into a pizza. Do not order pizza over the phone because I don't like pizza. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Give me more anchovies on that shit."
Yeah, and they always talk about the Netflix model, not understanding that Netflix has exclusive content. So does Hulu. So does Amazon. All of them have some type of, HBO had Game of Thrones. So there's something that drives them, that drives that market. There's a reason why Netflix bought 21 studios to make original Netflix content. There's a reason why Amazon and Netflix are in a constant bidding war for original content. So it's like, but again, they're growing up in a world where they can just download things, and they just think this is the way things should be. And Sony
Not
is
just that,
keeping
Craig.
things off.
Craig, you mentioned Netflix and Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. I always say read between the lines. Don't look what's available. Look at what's not available. If you look at Netflix and Amazon, they tie up all the studios. Like one of them will have Warner Brothers, all their films for like a year, where you won't get those films on any other live streaming, any other movie streaming network, right? So that means you get whoever's associated with Warner Brothers, like an actor. Like, I think, is that Tom Cruise associated with Warner Brothers? I think he is, right?
Yeah, Warner. He's worked for Paramount too.
Or Paramount Pictures then. So whoever it is, so let's say Paramount, maybe Paramount's better. One of these services will tie up all Paramount's movies for a year. So you only get, if you're a fan of Tom Cruise, you'll only find him on Netflix or on Amazon or whoever's got it, right? It's the same thing. Like, no matter where you go, there's going to be an exclusives problem, because even Game Pass is going to have to buy content to stop it going on other streaming sites first. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I got a story for that. We'll definitely add more to that with this details we got for when it comes to xCloud as well. But they're changing a few things
for real though. But think about it, right? Think about this. There's a lot of players in this streaming service now. Amazon's just thrown their hat into the ring. Google's in there. xCloud is in there. Sony's already in there. It won't be long till Nintendo jumps on it. It might not be till the next generation, but they will jump on it eventually. And everyone's going to be offering a streaming service. Okay. Now, outside of their own exclusive content or their own produced content, they're going to be tying up other games.
Yeah.
So the only way you can play them is if you buy them, but you can only stream them here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these will be third-party titles. So there's going to be an exclusives war. Just because something's gone into a service doesn't mean exclusives die. Exclusives are going to have to exist on those platforms as well.
Yeah.
Or why choose one streaming service over the other? Yeah. Why choose one over the other if everything's available everywhere? So, of course, exclusives will never go away. So these people talking about exclusives are not good for the industry. Exclusives are the bread and butter of the industry. That's why people choose. That's why people choose to put their money in one place over the other. It's because they get shit here that they like that they can't get over there.
Facts.
Yeah, if you go to the Holiday Inn, you can get a free. You stay 3 days at the Holiday Inn, you get a free continental breakfast, and they don't do that for you at Days Inn. So that's exclusive to Holiday Inn. Even if you say Days Inn for 4 nights, you ain't get no free continental breakfast. So you got another super chat, Big Cloud.
Oh, there? Oh, I gotta get caught with the chat. Look at. Sorry to everybody in the chat. What's going on? Good to see everybody. I hope you guys enjoying the show so far. The super chat is from That Beast IZM. $5 super chat. He said, "What are y'all talking about? Xbox got 6 teraflops and more controllers than games. All praise be to Phil Spencer. Got PlayStation running scared."
Yeah, and the fact is that they actually did believe. So I mean, you got to look at the Gaming Awards is an amalgamation of everything that's happened this generation. So they thought, well, the only reason why they thought multi-plats were more important, therefore games look better on the PlayStation. So more people bought PlayStation, which isn't true, but that's what they look. This stuff was being said in their podcast. You had guys saying they were being oppressed because they bought a console. Now they don't have access to content. You had Sony go to Azure to use their cloud-based services, which that's what Azure is. It's a cloud-based infrastructure for businesses, and that turned into because Sony's doing that, they're going to now put their games on Xbox, and we're all going to be able to play the same games, and it won't matter. You had the whole thing with crossplay. You had the Xbox community bitching and moaning because they wanted crossplay, and it wasn't fair. And we have so many.
No, they didn't want crossplay with PlayStation. They just wanted reasons for you not to have to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, because they don't want to have to buy a PlayStation.
They didn't want it. They didn't want it because they wanted to play with PlayStation people.
Yeah.
They knew that if they opened up the platform, they knew that was a huge obstacle for many people buying a new console. Oh, what do all my friends play online? Oh, they're all on PlayStation. Oh, I'm buying a PlayStation. So the Xbox fanboy was hoping that Sony would allow crossplay so that his mates can now choose Xbox because I can play with anyone. Well, I can buy Xbox then.
Yeah, and Phil Spencer said that. What you just said, Foxy, paraphrasing Phil Spencer, he said, yeah, they had information that they would have sold more consoles, but because people's friends had PlayStations, they bought PlayStation. So he compared it to the school bus. There's 4 kids on the school bus. They're all friends. They're all playing. He said, I think he used Rocket League or Fortnite as an example. And he said 3 of them had PlayStations and 1 of them is getting left out. So now they go and they say, well, I don't want an Xbox anymore. I want a PlayStation. That's where all my friends, that's where these guys are playing this games, happen to be Fortnite. He did use that as an example. So no, you're right. They did not want to have to buy it. And look, even when that one comment, when Insomniac game was, even though Sean Layton came out at E3, what was it, 2015 or 2016, says Spider-Man is exclusive. Literally, the man says it on stage. They didn't believe him. And then Insomniac came out and said, yeah, it's exclusive. And everybody saw the meltdown. Threatening they were threatening the developer, saying you will rule the day that you didn't put Spider-Man on the world's most powerful console. It's guys, we've seen it. So you got to stop acting like it didn't happen. So the Gaming Award is a amalgamation of that. It's everything that they hated is now in their faces.
You know what? It doesn't matter what wins at the Game Awards. There's no law to say you have to accept what a group of people have decided is Game of the Year. Whatever your Game of the Year is, that's your Game of the Year.
Exactly. You played it, you
experienced it. But that's not good enough for some people because once it's universally acclaimed Game of the Year, that burns their very soul. Because if they give too much power to outside forces, like let's say something that I don't think should have won Game of the Year wins Game of the Year, right? Let's say, I don't know, let's say Smash Brothers wins because I don't think that should win Game of the Year. Let's say I do like it and I think it's great, but personally I don't think it should win over the others. But let's say it does, right? Well, I always think that one of the others was my Game of the Year, and that's how my mind will be. I'm not automatically be overruled by outside forces that I must accept this is Game of the Year because Jeff Keighley's show said so. So it shows you how weak. It shows you how weak people are. That they have to protest when you don't have to protest. You're in control. No pun, but you're in control.
But again, it's about you're right. It is a weakness. And it just shows you that you got a bunch of men who are dependent on other people's things, other people's opinion. They because they want to take that into. Look, I've said this before. I sold my Xboxes because it's not relevant anymore. I can play their games on PC. Therefore, your
you're lucky.
console's not
You
relevant.
sold yours. You sold yours.
Yeah, I got 160 for it at GameStop.
Yeah, nobody wants to buy mine, and I'm giving 9. You know what? I'm selling 9 games. Yeah, good ones. 9 boxed Xbox One games. Right, I'm selling that for 210, and you get a free Xbox One S and controller.
Oh,
For 210. Nobody wants it. Nobody. No motherfucker wants it. Not even. I can't even get a deaf, dumb, or blind person to buy it. Nobody wants it, dude.
You get 2 super chats, Big Cloud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody in chat. Welcome again. Sorry. I'm like multitasking here. Danny Ruiz, $5 super chat. He says, no way am I getting the Pixar box next year. It's PS5 all day. Thank you for that super chat. Who else here? Somebody sent a sticker. It says, keep it up. That's from Robert Osborne, $5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. What's up, OBJ?
But I got a white PS4.
What's up, too? What's going on? Welcome.
I got a white PS4 Pro, a new one. The thing is so quiet. Sometimes I have to check that it's on. I swear that I don't know what Sony did with these new PS4 Pro models. Yeah. This is, even when I'm installing a disc, like, I can hardly hear the fucker. Seriously. Like, and the testament was last night. You know when it's really late? That's when you hear a console.
Yeah.
When it's like 1 a.m. and the whole street is quiet. The household is quiet. Next door is quiet. Not even the birds are awake. Everything's quiet. And then you can hear the older PS4 Pro like, and you're like, oh fuck, it's only loading as well. It's not even playing the game. It's just a loading screen and it's making that noise. Or it's the map screen and it's the fans going into crazy overdrive and you're only looking at a map. There's nothing going on. But this PS4 Pro, it's like someone whispering in my ear and I'm going, what? Say that again, I didn't hear you.
They fixed whatever was going on in there. They took care of it, with that new line. But it's unfortunate. But there's exclusives are here to stay. They're not going to go away for either Nintendo or even Hellfire. Breaking news allegedly that their xCloud, that Microsoft is going to put exclusive content on xCloud. Not Xbox.
That's why. I have that too. Yeah, that was one of the topics. Let's move over to.
Before you move on, can I just answer? Somebody in the chat, because I see they asked the question and they've been waiting a while. Let me just get them out of the way. It's not a super chat, so don't frown. But sometimes you got to give people attention for free.
I didn't even see the guy. What question was it from who?
Sometimes you got to give people attention for free. They can't, what? Let me see. Who is it?
What's his question? I don't even see him.
I see him. Here he is. Arthur Bartlett.
You must.
Foxy, did Xbox ever do well in the UK? Yeah, it did actually. Xbox 360 did tremendously well in the UK. In fact, it did better in the UK than the PS3 did for a long period of time. And even the Xbox One had a very good start in the UK. In fact, I'd say the UK, outside of America, the UK is one of Microsoft's strongest markets. Yeah. So Xbox does do well in the UK. I don't know how well it's doing comparatively to the PS4. I think the PS4 has trounced it in the UK this gen, but it wasn't like that last gen.
Okay. So let's move on from the game awards portion. That's crazy. That actually took a lot, but then again, it's a lot to talk about because there's a lot of just silliness on Twitter.
Again, it's an amalgamation of all the other things that's happened this generation. That's all the Game Awards is. It's just it's final confirmation of how piss poor the generation has been for Microsoft. That's it. That's what it is. Yeah,
that's pretty much all it is for me. That just clarifies what that has been quite abysmal in that group. So, moving on from that, they announced that xCloud will indeed have its own exclusives for Microsoft. They will have their own exclusives. They will have their own things, obviously, to sell the service. So what y'all think about this, having its own separate exclusives versus?
But we just
Xbox?
just talk about that they can
No,
have
we didn't elaborate all the way.
exclusives
Well,
for Game
yeah.
Pass and XCloud. It's the same
Oh,
thing, and it's the
okay.
same conversation.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, again, very quickly. Of course, it's it's a brand new service. So I just want everybody to take off the fanboy stuff and look at you're trying to sell something to the consumer. You have something brand new that you want the consumer to, at the bare minimum, take a 7-day trial on or whatever, a 10-day trial on. You're going to have to offer them something. So yeah, we're going to give you content over here that you can't get anywhere else on Xbox. So try it here. It makes sense to me as a consumer. But it's a smack in the face of the people who think that exclusive content doesn't matter. It's a smack in their face. I understand as a consumer. BitCloud understands as a consumer, so does Foxy. We understand as consumers, you have to sell a product. So whether BitCloud is selling ice cream, he's going to go to a store and say, here's a free scoop, try it out. This is going to be on, and here's a coupon for 50 cents off. How many of y'all walked to the grocery store and seen that?
Yeah.
You know, that here's a sample, here's 50 cents off, here's $1.50 off. Go try this right now. It's on sale today and tomorrow. That's it. That's all this is. But it's a smack in the face of the people who are like, well, exclusives don't matter to any consumer. Bullshit.
You know what? I more than understand. I demand exclusives.
Yes.
Because I need to be able to make decisions. I like making decisions. So give me exclusive content so I can make those decisions. Because if they're available anywhere and everywhere, there's no decisions to make. I mean, come on. I don't know how other people are, but I'm a fairly rigid. I would say not narrow, as in narrow-minded, but I'm focused, as in rigidly focused. So when I'm going to choose something and spend money on it, I don't like the decision. I don't like handing over money easy. Put it that way, yeah? When I go into a store or I press that button on the internet, I don't like spending money easy. So I like to weigh things up. I like to look at things and make decisions for my money. I think it's part of the game that comes with being a consumer. It's part of the game, the spending game, that you make informed decisions. Now, if they take that away from you, and there's no exclusives or anything particularly special about spending your money on product A or product B, that's kind of taking that decision process, that fun part out, because it doesn't matter then, does it? Fuck it. Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't matter. There's nothing special about whether I buy this or I buy that. So why buy it?
Yeah.
I like to spend money on special shit. Because that's part of the feeling, that's the good feeling you get from buying something. It doesn't last long, that good feeling, because you should get used to whatever you bought, and the novelty wears off. Even with game consoles, you don't cherish your console like the day you first got it for the entire generation. Nobody does. Some people, but the day they get their brand new next gen console, they're worrying their house is going to get broken into while they're at work. They literally are, because they can't wait to go home and play this thing that they've waited for years. And they're probably thinking, oh, shit, man, did I lock my doors? Or like they're really not stressing, but the product means a lot to them. But a year later or 2 years, they start not mistreating it, but they don't handle it the same way they did the day they took it out of the box. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's not out of it, guys, man. I was up literally to like 6 o'clock playing this very game you guys are looking at. So, sorry about that.
I'm playing it now. Like I said, I'm stuck. So,
Dude, I'm like boring. Legit done.
Boring, man. I'm not buying that. It looks boring to me.
I'm done.
I feel like I've played this game a million times.
It's a walking simulator.
Uncharted, Bloodborne. I could name a few games, man. Metroid. It seems like it's doing everything that everyone else has already done. It just has Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I like Respawn as a developer. Titanfall 2, amazing. But in terms of this game, there's something about it. It's too familiar to me, man. I don't like that familiarity, and I haven't even played it yet.
Yeah, once you get into all the powers, right now I'm like, well, I don't want to spoil it, but I got more than a few powers, and it's really good. Once it opens up to you,
if you've seen any Star Wars movie, you know what the powers are.
True.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's true. He's got a point there. Yeah.
I just feel like it's too familiar. If you know, what, it might be an amazing game, but just looking at it, it just feels so familiar. And I haven't even played it yet, and I got that overly familiar vibe about it. It doesn't feel fresh to me, man. Looking at it.
Yeah.
I just, I'll pick it up in a sale or something, man.
Yeah, man,
It's
you
a jumping
try it on Black
simulator.
Friday, I would say, but it's I would say this is definitely EA's better games that they have.
Yeah,
But that's not hard,
published.
is it?
Yeah.
That's not hard for EA when
Oh,
they
I
make
know.
shit 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's not hard for this to be one of their
There was
better
talks
games.
of Mass Effect, if I'm not mistaken, supposedly coming back too. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, one reason is that this is made on the Unreal Engine, and that's why you have like a cinematic type experience with this game. And of course, Mass Effect Andromeda was made on the Frostbite. So we're hoping, what we all want is just for them to make another Mass Effect game on the Unreal Engine. You can stay in the Milky Way. You had James Vega become an N7 operative in Mass Effect 3. Just start with him as your operative and say the Milky Way was hammered after the Reaper War, and now we have to explore and find resources to help build new outposts, and just make it like a race for resources. Yeah. I don't, that to me is, it can be an MMO. I'll even accept an MMO. I won't like it, but I'll accept an MMO. It's like having a pretty girlfriend that doesn't kiss good. You don't like it, but you'll accept it. So
that's all right. I don't like kissing anyway. No, I don't. I'm too much of a man.
No, I know you go for the gusto. I got you, bro.
Nah, I'm not into all that kissing crap, man. When I was a kid, when I was in my teens, like early 20s, yeah, but I'm a man. I don't kiss. I grind.
I say grind. So
I ain't holding hands crossing the road and that shit at my age. Like two old peas crossing it. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Apparently Foster 2. I ain't gonna say it.
I hold my daughter's hand.
Well, at least you're not being oppressed.
You get to my age, you hold your daughter's hand. You don't hold his hand.
Yeah. At least you're not being oppressed, Foxy.
Well, let's definitely get away from the Mass Effect talk. Let's get into good reason why you guys are here. I wanted to start with the Xbox, get that out the way, because a lot of people claim we put that second nature, we spin that, so there you guys go for my Xbox viewers. Let's go ahead and go right to the PlayStation section. Let's definitely turn this around. So there's a lot to talk about that was leaked due patents and whatnot for PlayStation. I actually do want to talk about this particular one first. That is this companion console. Supposedly it's going to be 5G compatible, and this will be pretty much Sony's, I guess you can say this is Sony's answer to xCloud in a way, because, you're taking your games on the go rather than having to worry about PlayStation Now in general. You have it strictly on, the actual portable aspect. Now, I don't know. I can't confirm, guys. I cannot confirm that this is actually going to be like Switch, even though you guys saw the thumbnail. That's actually one of the concepts that's been going around, and this was actually something that was in the R&D. There was like a Switch-like PSP model for PlayStation 5, and this was going to be something that's like, you can slide, controllers on, take it on the go. Not sure if this is actually going to carry over at all for PlayStation 5, or if they're just going to go straight with a Vita-like design. But that's what the patents are talking about, a 5G PSP companion device. What y'all think about this?
Craig, you have this, bro. I've spoken about this too much. This is boring to me.
Again, I'm not into the handheld thing, but if there's a market there, and Sony has identified the market, and there's a market there, the Nintendo Switch is in that market. I know, and Sony has done this before. So let's see what they're going to do. If it's going to be 5G. I know that's like the new buzzword at this point. So but I don't know what that means, but because it's just whatever, 4G, 5G. But at the end of the day, if there's a market for it, let's see exactly what they do. And good call again by you, Foxy, because you mentioned this. Gee whiz, over a year ago.
This is why I don't want to talk, man.
I know. I'm just.
It just feels like a repeat, man. I feel depressed.
Well, I just want give credit where credit is due. So if they're looking into this, and just because something's patent doesn't mean we'll see it. They could just be patenting processes on how to do certain things, and they may never do them. But
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, yeah, when you put a new process together, you got to patent how you do it so that nobody steals it. So, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm willing to wait and see how this actually goes, and who knows? I may end up with I'm gonna get a Switch. So at the end of it, so for me, it doesn't mean a whole lot, but because I'm not in that market, I'm not dissing the people that are, but I'll definitely keep my eye on it.
Okay. So I already did my video on it, discussing it. Again, whatever this thing is going to be used for, it's more likely going to be their version, like a new version of Remote Play in a sense, but kind of like xCloud. You take your games on the go. You download a big portion of the game. Now, again, let's come back to the whole cartridge thing. The whole cartridge thing has not necessarily really been confirmed that it will be for PS5. It's still up in the air at this point, but they did come out and clarify with a little bit of information with the cartridges. They stated that this is for an undisclosed device that we do not know about. So it very well might be for this companion device, even though it might be a little off.
Whatever it's for, it's for a PlayStation device.
Yeah.
It's definitely PlayStation. Whether it's 5,
Yeah.
whether it's VR, whether it's a companion, it's definitely a PlayStation device that has not been released yet. And that could even mean VR, because VR 2.0,
Yes.
that's not out.
Some people brought up Toyo. I remember I read some comments about that. I don't know if you guys remember Toyo. It was
Toyo is not PlayStation, is it?
Yeah. Is it not? I mean, I thought it was like their
Toyo has nothing
version.
to do with PlayStation. It's something totally separate by Sony.
I thought it was something add-on. I heard that name numerous
Nah,
times.
man, the two aren't connected, man. This is a PlayStation product, bro.
Oh, okay.
Toyo is something else.
So that's something else. All right. Okay. Cool. Just want to break that down.
Sorry if I'm sharp. You know what?
Now you get.
I've been dealing with bipolar for the last few days.
Yeah, I know you actually wrote that down. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm just, you know what it is? I don't like telling people that I've got it, but it's the easiest way to explain erratic behavior.
Yeah.
So if I go up and down in tone, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry. It's all good. Here's an interesting rumor for December's PlayStation Plus games. Supposedly, we're going to be getting God of War for PlayStation Plus December 2019. That was supposedly leaked. So if you didn't play God of War, you get it for free for PlayStation Plus if this is true. So
yeah, or you can do. They're offering. They're also offering PlayStation Now 7 days for free, so you can get it there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right, Big. I did the same leak. Rumor. So if that's true, great. Merry Christmas.
When did it come out? 2018.
God of War? Yeah, last year.
When was it last year though? Was it summer?
Yeah, it was like right before Detroit.
So whoever was gonna buy it has bought.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's the right time to go on Plus if the rumor is true.
Yeah.
They're not gonna get millions and millions and millions of sales out of that.
I mean, they've already done everything they can.
No, they will in years to come, but not anytime soon. Like, there's going to be a big rush of millions of sales suddenly, so they might as well put it on Plus, because it's done over 10 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made their money plus. They made their money and then some, man.
They always they control majority the whole situation with it, because if I remember correctly, they used this game. This game was already used for X amount of things for their PS Now, because remember it was on PlayStation Now to push it, so it makes sense to give it away free now, I guess you can say. So they got everything they could possibly out of the game if you didn't buy it for PlayStation Now.
You're gonna see a lot of the big games by summertime all end up on that Essentials label, the ugly red stripe budget version of the game that nobody likes because they can't get good resale value. I hate those labels, don't you? PlayStation Essentials, PlayStation Classics. I hate all those stupid labels. Well, if I'm buying a game pre-owned, I make sure I avoid, especially if it's a game that's gone into the Essentials range. I want the original release, not the one that became a budget re-release with that whole PlayStation Classics big sticker on the fucking label. I can't stand that. I don't know why. It's the same game. and the quality is no different, but the cover just does something to me. It's like it doesn't go with all of the other games that I've got in.
Yeah. Sorry, laughing at Lobo. Appreciate that, Lobo. He took out the trash. Anyway,
These are first world problems, man.
yeah. So let's move this around to Control. No, I'm sorry, no, not Control. Remedy talked about PlayStation 5 and the loading times.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. It was interesting what they said. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were talking about how with the SSDs, this is going to allow them to pretty much really harness the power of next gen and get it, or actually not necessarily, not just fine tune their games, but really get the most out the.
Wait, can I
CPU?
stop you?
Yeah.
What happened to your? I thought you had moderators.
I do. I don't know where.
Well, you got some guy ripping you to shreds in here, and these comment is allowed to. This Master Chief guy's ripping you apart in here.
Oh, let him do it. That's fine. Hold on.
Nobody's dealing with him.
Look at this fucking clown.
Let him do it. He goes over to your Jack Reacher's channel all the time. He's always over there. So he got nowhere to go right now. So
get rid of that clown, please. Thank you.
Yeah, as long as it's not racial.
Okay, now I'm starting to question the 10 dislikes in this chat. I wonder if that's all him. That's all him. Do you have a serious mental case? I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
you know what he said? You know what he typed? He said, has this become the Foxy Games UK show now? Right.
Well, if it has, well, it's not that big. That's still good.
And then he turned around and said how somebody whose name I'm not even going to mention that their channel has surpassed yours. You're rubbish. Your channel's dead. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, where's your moderators at, man?
Fucking
but then why is he here? The channel's rubbish. Why are you here?
He wants to be here because he wants to feel important. Little fat.
Yeah, you want to feel relevant because your pathetic Xbox is no longer relevant. We got you, brother.
We got you.
That shouldn't happen.
That's ridiculous. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What's up, D? Everybody else in the chat, what's up? Moving on. I ain't even got to worry about this shit. Relevant assholes like that.
What's wrong with me anyway? Why you bring me into it for? He's got a problem with you, but he brings me into it. Like, I don't get that.
Now, punk speed, they can't say it to your face, so they gotta be extra. You know, the internet is a personal shield.
Leave me out of it, man. Whatever beef you lot got.
Yeah.
Too old. I'm too ugly. I got bipolar. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I'll kill you and get away with it, man.
Yeah. What was I at? What was I at with this Remedy thing? Oh, you'll have more detail.
The SSD drive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the SSD will allow them to push the games harder. You'll have more detail in the actual games, according to Remedy's statements. Obviously, load times are obviously key, and PlayStation 5's new SSD is going to be pushing games faster. So that's the big update. Obviously, we know this, but if I remember correctly, wasn't there a report that went around that supposedly confirmed that PS5 was faster than Scarlet or something like that? That was on Twitter. I'm not sure. I didn't really even bother proofreading this. I should have checked it, but that was another thing that was going around.
Scarlet is what now?
No, PS5 was faster. Rumor? PS5 was faster than.
But we already heard that already. This is old.
Yeah, I was saying this was the big thing that was going around. So I'm trying to add this together, basically elaborate this.
Well, is this something new that's come up again?
Control. Well, I don't know if you heard about Remedy. Remedy made some comments about the SSD and basically confirmed that it's legit. The SSD will indeed improve games to the point where it's like.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious. But I'm hearing something else. I heard that developers are saying that the PS5 has the edge in power, judging by the dev kits, and they're way ahead of Microsoft in terms of their phase of dev kits. So now people are saying that means PS5 is obviously more powerful, but I mean that don't make no sense, because if my dev kit is more advanced than your dev kit, obviously the developers are gonna see that there's more power that can be got from it. But when I give you the like a dev kit that is like final, the two might just be similar in power again. So you can't go by dev kits because you don't know what stage or phase dev kit Microsoft has out there. Sony might be 6 months ahead of Microsoft in dev kits. But that doesn't mean that PS5 is automatically more powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like PS5 is going to be more efficient at certain things. But I also feel that so will Scarlet. I feel like they're going to cancel each other out. I feel like Sony going to have the edge in one area, Microsoft going to have the edge in another area, but ultimately it will come down to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and again,
Oh, I
yeah.
had
What remedy?
Craig,
Go
I
ahead,
appreciate
go
you
ahead.
checking that comment, but I'm gonna let you let that go
Yeah.
because he wasn't, obviously it wasn't directed towards you.
Oh man, no, that's cool. All right, that's good.
That's
Hey
what
man,
that
it's
is.
your house. Hey, it's your house. It's your rug, so that's fine. But no, I don't disagree with that. But Remedy also said something interesting, Foxy, that it's something you had brought up before. They're still going to have developers doing 30 FPS game, depending on how the developer deploys the new asset. So I fully expect Sony's first party developers to go ham like they've done on all their games. So I'm just expecting the same quality. The third party developers, I don't really care. If it's 30 FPS and the game is available on PC, I'll get it on PC and run it at 60. Yeah, I mean they were they mentioned how they're gonna deploy certain things but you're gonna still have games at 1440p. You're gonna still have games at 1080p. You're gonna still have you're gonna have all that up and down.
Do you know what the standard PS4? Let's pretend the Pro doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pretend there's no mid-gen recycle on Sony's side, only Microsoft's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much of a leeway I'm going to give Microsoft. This is how much I'm giving Microsoft over Sony, just to make it fair, right?
Right.
So no one can say this is a biased comment, because I've dropped Sony down to 1.8 T-flops, and I'm allowing Microsoft to have their Xbox One X 6 T-flops. So the Pro doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
The power has proven to be irrelevant because the games that you're getting on a 1.8 T-flop PS4, which is the vanilla standard one, the games outclass Xbox One X, anything that you've seen on the Xbox One X. I don't care if it's 4K. I don't care if it's 1080p. I couldn't give a shit. Looking at the quality of the games, looking at the production values, looking at the acting, just the overall level of fucking polish on these Sony games on the vanilla PS4 and that golf. Like, come on, man. We're talking about 1.8 T-flops compared to 6 T-flops.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4. What is that? What's that? That's like 5 T-flops, isn't it? Or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
What, 4.2 T-flops more power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
4.2 T-flops more power, and you still got this little 6-year-old system knocking games out that outclass anything that you're putting out on there with all that 4K capability, with that Hovis method of whatever CPU management they got, with all that 12 gigs of RAM, with that 4K Ultra Blu-ray player, and you got this fucking 6-year-old system outclassing you and everything that you do with your system. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. That's like a tiny little laptop with integrated graphics, producing better quality looking games than a fucking AMD RX 5700 XT. That's the gulf we're talking about here. That's the gulf in power. So how is it Sony Studios managed to make their system, which is weak at the knees because it's an old age pensioner in terms of hardware, the original PlayStation 4, it's like a senior citizen. It takes ages to cross the road. You've seen some games the way they load.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's still outclassing a 2017 console.
That is true. And, that situation, again, we beaten that to death. It's like, I don't know what to really go from there. I know a lot of people put a lot of stock into next gen. I heard shit earlier, do saying, "Oh, I'm all in for Scarlet next gen." I'm like, okay, well, if you're in for Scarlet, you're in for Scarlet. What can I say? That's just up on you. But
yeah, nobody is
exactly that's up on you. I mean,
it's like they think people are trying to talk them out of getting something. No, I mean, go get what you want. Be a man. That's what a man does. They go get what they want and they do it. They try it themselves. And I don't care what you go buy. Just be happy when you get it at home. And if you don't like it, take it back. I mean, like anything else. It's like your mommy and daddy did. Oh, this didn't fit you when you were a little boy.
Gosh.
So
I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I got to correct the platform live. Nah, integrated graphics would not be able to handle a PS4 game. What do you think the PS4 is? It's integrated graphics, dude. Well, it hasn't got its own separate fucking GPU card. It's all on one APU. That's integrated graphics.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, it is integrated. But no, they've
you need to. People should think before they type, man, because you make both of us look stupid.
shout out to the platform, but yeah, it is
Platform
integrated. But no, they've you guys have to make up your own mind. I mean, you don't have to tell me or BitCloud or Foxy, which are all info.
Just go buy your games.
Just go,
go
buy.
That's just it. I don't understand why people have to like fucking advertise this shit like it's fucking a business. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Just fucking
Shout out to the people. I understand what you guys are doing, but it honestly doesn't. I'm glad you're doing it, and don't take this wrong. I don't give a rat's ass what you do, and that's nothing against anybody. Just this is you all don't give a rat's ass what I do, and that's fine, you know. But yeah, I don't give a rat's ass what you guys spend your money on. Just have fun, you know. It's a hobby, and enjoy it. It's unfortunate that this generation things have been this one-sided. Yeah. You know, that's all. You know, that's where I think a lot of angst is coming from. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Craig, you know the PS4's chipset and it's everything that's built in there. Is it based off of a desktop PC or is it based off of a mobile PC? What's it closest to, a laptop or a desktop? The PS4.
Oh, I would assume something. I would assume a desktop. Isn't it? It's like a base. It's like a base CPU.
So the PS4 is not a mobile part. It doesn't use mobile. Like all the designers said it does. Then. Like a laptop uses mobile parts.
Yeah, no, not to my knowledge, but I be the saying correct it. You know, I'm a grown ass man. If I'm wrong about something, somebody just shoot me the.
I thought you knew. I asked the wrong man. Well,
yeah, you did.
No, the PS4 is a mobile. It's made with mobile components. Okay. Mobile, much like a laptop is made of mobile components without a screen. The PS4 is like a laptop without a screen and a keyboard. That's all it is. It's nothing nowhere close to desktop. Desktop are discrete. They use a discrete GPU, discrete CPU. Yeah, that's desktop. That's a proper desktop. A PS4 has its own integrated graphics and CPU all built into the same die that is integrated. I don't have this long conversation with someone in the chat over this, but I'm just telling them straight that PS4 is a mobile chipset using integrated graphics. Very good integrated graphics, but they're integrated all the same. There is no separate GPU. There is no separate CPU. It's all shrunk onto the same die on one chip.
Let me move on from this. 1 second.
No, don't act like there's a problem, Brian. There's no problem.
No, I'm not like problem. Just fine. I'm tired as fuck.
If I'm wrong,
no, that's not like there's a problem. There's no problem. I'm a legit.
No, but if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be educated. Similarly, if someone's wrong, they should be happy to be educated. The feelings shouldn't come into it. It's about facts. It shouldn't be about feelings.
Of course. I'm fucking drained though. I'm dead.
I know the feeling. Yeah, I played the same game you're playing. Yeah.
Fucking head is killing me. So if I sound out of it, people, y'all know why I sound the fuck out of it. I am legit drained out of that shit. Whoa. Anyway, where was I on this shit? Oh, fucking the other topic.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that we just go to the AI.
Yeah, Sony establishes an AI and R&D division. It's gonna be in Japan, and they're gonna be focusing on pretty much unleashing human imagination and creativity with AI. Now, if you guys remember, didn't Microsoft announce something like this before? It was called Microsoft AI. Didn't they announce this?
Maybe.
It was a while ago, right before xCloud became like launched. It was a while ago. It was one of their Xbox event. I think it was E3, one of the E3s. They announced Microsoft AI, and that I guess we're gonna get the same thing here. I'm guessing. I'm not sure. What y'all think about PlayStation AI? Like, what's the use for it? What y'all think?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, AI to me, because we talked about this on quote unquote Black YouTube. AI fascinates the hell out of me. Of course, like somebody told me this week, I'm an old man. But it fascinates the hell out of an old man. Hopefully, my Geritol kicks in enough where I can stay alive to actually see it come to fruition. As far as how it's going to be used on a PlayStation, I think you could see some intuitive mapping. Which means that similar to what an Android phone does, Android picks up on what apps you use the most, and then it starts to arrange it for you. So let's just say Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2 comes out. I have that. I have The Witcher still, and I have it up still on my screen. But I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2 a whole lot. So it will prioritize. It could prioritize that for me, the gamer, and say, "Oh no, we'll put this first because this is what you play the most." And that is a form of AI. It's rudimentary.
Turn the AI off, man. If
Yeah,
I wanted AI, if I wanted AI, I'd get married.
Yeah, I can do another Mass Effect reference here. You don't want it to turn into the Get, like what the Corians did. But
maybe it's for that assistant though. Remember, it was like a PlayStation assistant, Google like assistant.
Aloy, turn it off, man.
I'm saying
if you want AI, listen, if you want AI, get married. Yeah, if that's what you want, get married.
I'm dead.
You don't know artificial female talking to you all day, man. You'll never leave your house.
Well, if it's Aloy, I may make an assumption.
Nah, you know what? You know what? I'm anti
Aloy.
You know, I like technology, but I don't like it. I don't like intrusive technology. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you don't want to be you don't want to have a conversation or a relationship with your
TV?
No,
I'm not interested in having any conversation with any deep learning AI assistant. No, thank you.
Who remembers where that's from, by the way, in the chat? Today, you're going to have, you and your TV are going to have a relationship. What's that?
No, thank you.
What's that from?
You know what I'm saying? This thing's deep learning here. Everything you say, it remembers, it stores, and it learns to formulate a conversation with you. Now, you might not turn that motherfucker off one day, and you could be doing some illicit shit in your house, and you are verbally confessing to your AI. So when they subpoena Sony for the records, they have to send it over to them, the FBI, or whichever governing fucking black suit fucking mob are in your area. Okay, that's how you get caught. People didn't think they could get caught on the phone, so they started getting caught on the phone, cell phone. People thought they couldn't get caught on the internet. They started getting caught on the internet. Now, I'm not saying like everyone's up to no good, but I'm about my privacy, yeah? I am not the perfect citizen. I don't think anybody is, and I'd like to keep it that way. Nobody needs to know what goes on behind my closed doors, and I don't care what goes on behind yours.
Yeah.
Turn the AI off.
Yeah, that's if they get
there's only one thing that will make the situation with the whole AI discussion, especially for PlayStation and Xbox, even be a thing, you know, in terms of being like creepy, is if we have new cameras, right, that are like pushing the same type of thing they were trying to push at the start of this gen. That's when you know Skynet is like upon us at this point. We're building towards it. So
yeah, I mean, again,
I like human interaction. That's what I like. I like meat bags. That's what I like. Real meat bags with eyes that stare at you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into no machinery, no sex robots. I will be forever old-fashioned because you know I'll be alive. I feel like if disease doesn't kill me or some other unforeseen thing, and if you know it's only down to age, that in my lifetime we're gonna see robots that you can hire because most men won't be able to afford them. But people on low salaries will be able to hire these things, and they're like sex robots and all that stuff. Yeah,
sound like Detroit become human there.
Yeah, that's like Detroit.
Yeah, you're gonna have men. No, trust me, you're gonna have men. Not all men, but you're gonna have men literally not bothering with women anymore. Seriously, it's already
happening now.
You got people addicted to porn that they don't even talk to women no more.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're about to release, I think in the next 2 years, the artificial womb. So once the
God.
See?
artificial,
No, no.
yeah,
I wanna
it's about
I
fetish.
hold. I like warm flesh, man. I like
Well, I
a
do
nice
too,
warm
but
body.
I'm just saying, as far as people are going to be doing that. But no, as far as their AI, let's have to wait and see how it goes. Again, as an old man, like somebody was told me today, the other day I was an old man, and like I said, hopefully my Geritol and my Metamucil keeps me alive long enough where I can see this PlayStation 5. So and with the AI, but I'm just
I can
interested
see
in
the
it.
future, you know. I can see the future. I swear to you, I can see the future. I can see millions of people never leaving their homes, literally prisoners of their own home by technology. They have
Yeah,
no reason to leave home, no reason to step outside, no reason to talk to another human. You're going to have people who won't touch you and they don't want you to touch them. Like they're going to develop phobias. Don't shake my hand. Don't fist pump me. Don't touch me. I want you this far in proximity from me. I don't want to be able to feel your breath. Like you're going to have people that are so anti-human because machines have taken over in the future that you won't be able to touch somebody. It'll be like a crime. It'll be like they'll make it a fucking assault if you even try and shake someone's hand. It's like they're trying to. I don't know. When I say they conspiracy, woo, 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 get your metal tinfoil hats on. But I'm gonna say this. I feel like there's a conspiracy to separate people from people. Like I feel like they want people isolated. I think that is the grand scheme to split families, to remove that community thing, and just have everybody just about themselves. Just think about themselves. Think about what you want. Selfishness, self-entitlement. Like it started with the selfie, taking pictures of yourself. You know, everything's about you these days. You, not anyone else, just you. Like your whole world centers around you, and they keep promoting this. And I feel like certain weak-minded people will buy into it, and they'll build up this superiority complex within themselves where they feel like they don't need interaction with humans no more. Trust me, I can see that. I can see that. That's less than 50 years away.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have people taking you to court or you being fined if you even tap someone on the shoulder, because it's going to be like new laws or bills will be passed where, I don't know, I just feel like they're trying to make people rely less upon each other
Well, you know what that's going to lead
and
to.
become more dependent on machines. Like, don't think, just push this button. Don't use your brain. Don't try and think. Let this machine think for you. Like over time, your kids will be born dumb as fuck. Like
well, that's
generations of
happening now.
children will be
Trust me.
born
Yeah.
dumber and dumber. Smartphones getting smarter, people getting dumber.
Hey, Craig, you know what
Yeah.
that's going to lead to? It's going to lead to that scene from Detroit. It's like equal rights. It's
No,
Yeah,
seriously.
going to lead to
You know
that,
what?
I
yeah, they're
swear.
gonna
I'm
go
telling you
deviant.
now, generations from now, kids are gonna be so fucking stupid. You'd think with all this technology that you'd have all the information at your fingertips, right? So everyone should be brainy, right?
They do, but they just don't. They
Because
don't look it up. That's
no,
the
but
thing.
it don't work that way. It don't work that way. That's the trick. They want you to think. All this information at hand. We don't need libraries. Therefore, you don't need to sit down with other human beings in a quiet place and have a nice thought and read a book. No, stay home because it's available there. So you don't need interaction, right? You're just going to read, read, read. But here's the thing. If the internet has all this information and we have access to it, why aren't people super smart? Why are people just getting more super dumb? Because think about it, any questions you have can be answered on the internet. Literally, any question, just type it in Google and you will get an answer. So why aren't people fucking getting cleverer? Why are people getting dumber? Ask that question. With all this technology and information at your fingertips, why are people thick as fuck?
Because they don't look. They don't use it for that. They use it for other means.
All the internet has allowed people to do is find people with their warped sense of the world, and they all congregate together in their little clans. That's all it means. That it just means that you are reinforcing your beliefs because you got other people helping you. You're not expanding to other people to find out other opinions, other angles, other perspectives, because the internet has made it so you can find people who already think like you. So you never learn nothing new. You just become more ignorant and more stupid.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that firsthand. I had a conversation this week. Yeah, it's full retard.
Oh
So,
God, here we go. I already know
No,
you're talking
I'm just
about.
saying. No, no. I handled that last night. So no, no. This is just something else. Something else that was going on in Washington D.C. You got people going full retard. So yeah. You know, people are not getting smarter; they're getting dumber.
And do you know what Twitter's done? Twitter's one of the. You know what? I only use Twitter really for my channel. I don't talk my personal life apart from I mentioned the bipolar because I have to explain. People might wonder how comes you're happy one day, sad the next. You know, things like that. But I generally only use it for my channel, right? But even Twitter has allowed so many people to have opinions that there's so many opinions now that none of them are really. Do you notice that? Because everyone now has an opinion, now the more people are able to express their opinion to the world, the less valuable each opinion becomes. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's like if everybody had a Rolls Royce. It's not a valuable fucking car anymore, is it?
That's true.
If everyone had a diamond fucking the size of a fucking Cadbury's cream egg, that diamond wouldn't be worth shit, would it? It wouldn't be worth nothing because everyone has one. It's like dirt.
Yeah.
So opinions on the internet, especially on Twitter, there's opinions like there's dirt and sand that each grain don't mean nothing no more.
Yeah.
So you're easily dismissed on Twitter, even if you're talking facts. You are easily dismissed because you're now in a bubble of opinions that seek approval when your opinion shouldn't need approval. Your opinion is you. It's created by the things you see, your experiences, and your understanding of things. That's an opinion. That's how you form an opinion, right? Based on previous information presented with new information is how you form an opinion, right? So it's automatically valued. But the minute you get on Twitter and have to argue your opinion, it becomes no value because you've given the power to someone else to dictate if your opinion should be approved or not. That's why I don't go on Twitter asking questions.
Good point. Fair point.
If I ask a question on Twitter, it's rhetorical. I already know the answer.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I'm not seeking approval like Twitter kind of brainwashes people into doing.
Yeah.
Because it just makes you crave likes. The more likes you get, the more approval you think you're getting. The more acceptance you think you're getting. It's a trick. It is a trick.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you're putting the likes become the value, not your opinion.
Yeah.
To understand, your opinion was already valuable before you shared it, because you formed it. So if it's not of value to you, it can't be of value to anybody.
Good point.
I don't mean to philosophize here, but it's all leading into the AI.
Yeah. Good point. Not bad. Suggestion there. What was that? That beast, IZM. He said, name 2 games that you believe everyone should play. $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Could you elaborate a little bit? Are you saying like for this year, or are you just saying in general? Just
what was this question again?
Name 2 games that you believe everyone should play. Name 2 games.
Oh, this year? I believe you should
he
play
didn't say this year though. He just said name 2 games.
Well, let's narrow it down to this year. Otherwise, what's the?
Yeah, I guess
if we leave it open, we could be here for 3-4 weeks.
For me, it's simple. It's I would play on Xbox. I think I'll say you should go ahead and try to play Gears 5 that came out this year. If you like the other Gears games,
yeah.
And that's about it for Xbox. And then on the PlayStation, I'll say try Death Stranding. If you came out this year, and/or Concrete Genie. I've heard nothing but good things about Concrete Genie.
Okay.
I don't know about Nintendo because I don't know. I'll say Nintendo Fire Emblem because that everybody is singing that game's praises too. So I know that's 3, but that's what I got.
Yeah. What's up, Impatient? You want me to recommend 2 games? I would definitely say try Star Wars for sure. It's got a lot. Believe it or not, it's playing kind of like Sekiro. Pairing is definitely a thing, and of course, now obviously they have an easy mode, but really you shouldn't play it on easy mode. You should play it on the second mode, and or either the second mode or third mode to really get the most out of this game in terms of like the reward factor. It's really really good. I'm enjoying it so far, and yeah, that's a boss you guys just saw me die to, even though they're like the same damn thing. But yeah, I think Star Wars is definitely worth a buy. Death Stranding, I have that as well, but I have not started it, so I can't really recommend it just yet. But a lot of people keep telling me it's good, so I guess Death Stranding. But I'm going to recommend something that obviously I actually beat, and I think it's worthwhile. Obviously, this game is on the Game of the Year for a reason, and I would definitely say it's definitely deserves to be up there, and that's Resident Evil 2. Definitely go cop Resident Evil 2 if you haven't played that. So, Foxy, you have any 2 games you want to recommend? No?
Obviously, Death Stranding.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this qualifies because it did release this year on the Nintendo Switch. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you haven't played it yet, definitely play The Witcher 3 in portable mode, complete edition. Definitely. Xbox, well, just difficult. I suppose there's only one game, isn't there? Really, it's Gears 5. If you haven't played it yet, to be honest with you, if you got an Xbox and you haven't played it, I don't know what the fuck planet you're on. When there's been 1 million on one promotions that you can just play it for $1 or £1 UK. So you must have been asleep. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's no way you could.
just
There's kind of no way you could not have played it if you own an Xbox because you never had to buy it. Is what I'm saying. You never had to save for that game.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true.
You didn't have to say, "Oh, I got a bill this month. Can't buy Gears." So you got no excuse. You got no excuse.
Let's definitely get to these last, these last few topics real quick. So let me start with this easy one, super easy. You guys heard about the patent? I know you guys saw it; it was trending. The new patent for PlayStation's 5's controller, the DualShock 5. They were showing it off. It didn't have a light bar, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't have it had the touchpad still, which was interesting, but it had bigger triggers, which is understandable because for the new triggers, they're using haptic trigger feedback. So it's kind of like the Xbox One where the rumble's in the trigger, but this one is actually programmable. So basically, they can fine tune it with updates for games and make them more resistant or more sensitive to certain things to, to add more immersion to the actual game itself. So that's what's going on there. The screenshots look pretty interesting. It wasn't really that much of a difference. They did say that the sides, like the grips, were bigger in terms of, they were longer. So that was another thing for it to add to it. And I think that was pretty much it. Oh, and the thumbsticks. The thumbsticks were a tad smaller. Yeah, slightly smaller. Do y'all see this as a big, do y'all see this as a win or an L for the design? Like, do y'all miss the light bar? Do y'all think that's something that should stay? Do y'all even think the touchpad should stay? Or should they remove touchpad? Like, what's y'all thoughts on it?
Well, I always knew the touchpad would stick around because if it's going to be back compat for PS4, there's no way around it. Like, even if the developers implemented the touchpad functionality poorly in their games, every game uses it in one way or the other, even if it's to open the map or do something. But they have to kind of include the touchpad because there's no other way around having proper compatibility for PS4. I mean, that was the main feature. You got games like Infamous, where you have to use the touchpad. You know what I'm saying? And it's but the light bar can go because, to be honest, you don't need that big. You still need a receiver built into the controller. It doesn't have to be the light bar. And I say why you need the receiver controller because if PlayStation VR, like they say, is going to be compatible with PS5, well, that uses the light bar, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's for the old controller or whatnot. So really, you just connect your old controller to, because remember, it works for everything. From what I'm not mistaken, it'll work for everything. So I'm guessing how they would manage that is the standard DualShock 4 would work with PS5, and obviously the camera would sync with the PS5, and you can just have it, work like typical. That's what I'm thinking that they would do.
Yeah, or they could just have a sensor that doesn't light up at all.
Yeah.
Built into the PS5 that just if you want to continue using your PS5 for the old PlayStation VR, because to be honest, the light bar is just a fancy the light effect is just a fancy add-on. That doesn't dictate how it works in VR.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need that light. You don't need the light. Like they could have made the DualShock 4 have that same space but not light up at all, and it still would have worked with the VR.
Mm-hmm.
The light is it's just an aesthetic, it's just something to differentiate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
But as well, I don't know, man. The controller.
I mean, not
That's
big
the
of a
least of my
difference, right?
concerns.
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a difference. I mean, just aside from that particular thing removed, and supposedly the thumbsticks being a little smaller, and the triggers obviously being bigger. The picture did an okay job with the triggers, showing like the size of them, but it didn't look like that insanely huge. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look that like minusculely like big in terms of how they went about it, but there was that. So. I mean, it didn't look
I
like
still
that
feel
much.
like they should change the stick.
The what? Oh, the layout of these sticks?
Make them diagonal.
Oh, you mean like go full like 360 design? Like some of
Or
those
or
dev
the
kits?
pro, even the pro controller,
Mm-hmm.
the way the sticks are positioned. I prefer, me personally. I know everyone's gonna have their opinion on this, and I don't give a shit about those people because this is a personal preference, so I can't care about what you like.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, I've always preferred the diagonal sticks when they're close together like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's workable. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I can't use a DualShock 4 and I don't have fun and it's uncomfortable. That's not true. But if you're talking about preference, I like diagonal sticks.
Yeah. Okay. Who's interested in diagonal sticks? Type 1 in the chat. What's up, Jamia?
I don't care about that. Well, if you couldn't do it for you, I could.
No, I'm interested to see who else would be interested in something in diagonal sticks. Because this was actually, you guys remember, if we go back to PS4
But you're
release.
asking an irrelevant question because it's not going
No,
to be
it goes
diagonal.
back to PS4. You remember the PS4
Yeah, but
dev
it won't be
kits? What they do?
diagonal, will it? We know it's going to be exactly
Well,
the same
obviously,
thumbstick
it's going to be the same
configuration.
thumbstick. I'm just asking a question for the chat. I remember back when PS4 was launching, they had diagonal options for the developers, and they were literally having them choose the design, the layout for the controller. I'm wondering I'm trying to see how the feedback would be basically from the chat and everybody. Well, even though I won't get the whole picture.
I prefer diagonal because your hand is curved.
Okay.
So diagonal is actually a much more natural fit.
Yeah.
The difference in the Xbox joystick is actually better on your hand, your actual physical hand, but the PlayStation one is better on your wrist. It's a little more stressful on your hand because your hand is forced to stay across from each other, and it's not in a natural. If you put your hand on an Xbox controller, it contours to your hand. The PlayStation controller really doesn't do that. With that said, the PlayStation controller is lighter, therefore it's better on your wrist than the Xbox controller. But they both have their plus and minuses. It's not the end. But me personally, I like diagonal. Nothing wrong with Sony's. It just puts a little more stress on your finger. That's all.
Okay. Jamia Dixon, what's up, bro? Appreciate the $5 super chat. He says PC Master Race in the building. What's up, brother?
There you go.
Guess there's a nod to Craig. Craig claims he's PC Master Race. Not me, stop.
Oh yeah, well, if I can get this new GPU, I will be. Right now, I'm this little master.
Mastered. All right. So there's some patents going around that Sony is looking into user-generated content, or described user-generated content. So basically, it's basically, according to this is kind of like their new share button, like the new share feature where you can tag stuff and actually recommend your content, whether it be like a video that you did. Let's say you did something. Let's say you do YouTube through Share Factory, right? You can actually tag people with this new technology that's going to be in PS5, where you can show them a snippet of whatever you made, whether it be gameplay, a video, and you can actually tag them in this, and they will actually be able to either comment on it, I'm guessing, or immediately know where to go to watch it in full and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. There was also an addition to this. Supposedly you can make your own demos going into PS5. Now this is another thing they were talking about: user created demos going into the actual system. Not sure how that would actually work, but that is interesting.
Yeah,
that is definitely interesting. That definitely adds a choice of creation to it. You know, like with the whole dreams thing, that adds another level of creation in terms of getting gamers involved in the actual games. So that's interesting, though. What y'all think? What you think
Old,
on that?
old
said-
news, old.
That oldness?
Very
yeah,
old.
yeah.
I
Real quick,
tweeted this last year. I said that quality of life features. I said that the share play. They're changing up share play. They're gonna do some extra stuff.
Yeah, this is
Like, this is
I mean, this
old,
seems like
man,
a
old.
new reinvigoration. Though I don't know if they're. I mean, like they're not talking. Well, obviously,
This
I
is all
think
to do
they're
with the
changing.
share button.
Yeah.
This is all to do with the share button.
yeah.
So that was
Everything
that.
you're talking about there is tied to the share button. So they're going to allow you to chop up clips, do a demo, extra stuff. Just
Yeah, create your own personal demos, which is I don't know how that will work into actual games. I'm guessing there will be limitations for that, where they don't want you to spoil stuff for the game. You know, I'm guessing.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's a little. You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's the least. To me, it's the least. It's the least impressive feature. I don't know
really?
what to say
Wow,
about
I'm
it.
shocked. I thought you'd be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna make demos for no one.
Well, I mean, you use Well, I mean, I thought.
What
Well,
do I want to make
content.
demos for?
I mean, again, that's not even just about demos. Other stuff. I mean, I'm guessing if you make a video, let's say you use Share Factory.
No. These are things that some people will use, but let's be honest. I don't use half of the functionality of the PS4.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't do share play. I don't share nothing with nobody. When I'm playing a game, I don't want to be disturbed. Okay, I don't use half of the functionality in there. So this is good for those who are going to use it, but I feel like it's just stuff for Sony to talk about that no one's really going to care about later on. It's going to be something that's there that you can use, but it's going to be like Share Factory. Right? It's available to everyone, but not everyone's using it.
So you think it'll pretty much die down? You don't think it's going to be that big?
Well, it's like Share Factory, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
who uses Share Factory? People who want to upload and share clips. A lot of people can't be bothered with all that shit. They're just playing games. They don't care about chopping things up, sending it to someone. They're just playing a game, and then they're going back to their everyday life, and then
I got you.
back to the. Do you get what I'm saying? It's one of those things.
So
That
you
it's
sound like
good
a
for some.
surge of it, and then it will die down, basically.
It'd just be like the the playroom. Like, come on, let's be real. Who's using that now?
Okay. Good point.
When the console first launched, it was like a novelty, innit? Everyone's on Playroom, everyone's using this, that.
That is
After
true.
a while,
Yes,
it becomes a
that's
feature
true.
that you just don't look at no more. So it's nice because it's new, but after a while, you're gonna look at it and think, it also does this that I never use.
Okay, good point. Hey. Craig, you want to add anything to it? Any questions on it?
No, like I said, definitely. I still don't know how to use the thing that sets up to let you do videos.
Oh, damn.
So on PlayStation, but
You far behind,
it's a function I won't probably use either. I'm glad it's there. I'm sure a lot of people will get a use for it, and who knows? Maybe I'll sit down and learn how to do it. Like I said, if my Geritol and my Metamucil kicks in, I might be able to do it.
Okay.
I got a feeling though there's gonna be higher failure rates next gen than there was this gen.
Really?
Yeah, because you know why? They're making them more powerful, so they're gonna be overheating issues. Trust me, there is for the early models. There's gonna be overheating issues for a lot of the consoles. There's also gonna be more things to go wrong. They're adding an SSD now. There's like it seems the more they add, the more things are prone to go wrong. If you look at any cell phone, right? When cell phones were basic, they did the most basic things like just have, a camera, radio, play MP3. But now the more they do, the more they freeze up, the more they go wrong. Do you notice that? The more they pack technology into a small form factor that does everything, the more shit that goes wrong, man. I noticed that. If you
Yeah,
look at all
we
the
talked about
consoles,
heat, especially. You know, that's going to be the big thing is heat, especially with the SSD
well,
and
you know what it is? It's
processing.
just the first batch. Look,
Mm-hmm.
even the Pro. You know when the Pro first launched,
Mm-hmm.
or forget the Pro, even the first PS4,
Mm-hmm.
that thing was loud.
Oh, it still
And
is.
then they
Yeah,
made the
still is.
Slim, and
Any
it was
AAA game you run, this thing will legit
right.
rev
They
up.
made the
Yeah,
Slim, it was quiet.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll rev
but
up.
then
Yeah.
they made the Pro. That thing was loud.
Yeah.
But now they've made a new model of the Pro. It's quiet again. It's because that's just how it is. Whenever they make new hardware it to the public,
Yeah.
like it's almost raw. It's released to you, not unfinished. It is finished, but it's not refined as much as it could be. Over time, it gets refined, and they draw less power from it, and it becomes more efficient and cooler. So you can expect these first iterations of the next gen systems. Not all of them. I'm not going to say it's going to be like 360 failure rates. I'm not talking like that.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not being an
Yeah.
alarmist. I'm not trying to alarm anyone, but do expect more power, more functionality, more components, more features means more things can go wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, that could be a thing. Again, right? Remember we talked about the design, guys, the dev kit design, how it looks like a spaceship. I mean, again, I said this too. Take note of the ventilation. That thing is going to produce a lot of heat. But they did say, Mark Cerny did say it was going to be quiet, quote unquote. But still, I don't know. It's hard to really say at this point. Hard to say, when it comes to the system.
Yeah.
I guess I'll end the show with these last two particular things here. Insomniac's been tweeting about resistance left and right. It's been a few. They've just been mentioning it left and right, and I find it a little odd that after Spider-Man, as soon as they get purchased by Sony, they go, "Hey guys, press F to pay respect to Resistance 2," and after that, they recently just talked about Resistance 1. Do you guys think that they're hinting that we could be getting a reboot of the franchise or a remaster of it going to PS5?
I don't want remasters.
You
Just
want
bring
remasters reboot?
bring. I played them already.
Yeah,
Selfishly,
a
I've
remake.
played
Yeah.
them already. I've lived that life already. I'm sorry that, you know, for other people who may not have, but I've lived those. I've already walked that road. So I would like to see Resistance reborn,
Yes.
a rebirth. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Just reboot the damn thing and use the Spider-Man engine, an evolved version of Spider-Man engine, because they've added to. And not
Yeah.
only that, the reason why I don't want remasters, yeah, is because I feel like I bought them all already.
Mm-hmm.
So to me it would be a wasted opportunity.
Right.
Because I want something new. I think they've made us wait long enough. Like Resistance, did they make 3?
Yeah, it was 3. It was just it was 3. The
They made
third
a
one
third one.
ended. Yeah, the third one ended the franchise.
Right.
Yeah, the third one ended.
Okay, so when was this? When was that? 2011, 2012?
The third one, hold on, I'll look it up for you. I don't even remember because I didn't even play
Well, a
that.
long
Third
time
one. It
ago,
was a
because
long
you
time
can't
ago.
remember. So it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I think we deserve a new entry. If you want to remaster it as well, cool. But don't just remaster it, though. Give us a rebirth.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Oh,
Because I'm not being funny. It don't matter how pretty they make it look. I know
yeah,
the
you're
story.
right. It was 2011. That should.
I know the story. So it don't matter how pretty it
Yeah,
looks in a
they have to go
a
back to their
remaster.
roots to let's say like they retell it, like they did for Resident Evil. Like I would retell it if you need to for the first one, and then go completely new. You know what I'm saying, with the second one up, and add new chimera, new ways about it. Because one thing I liked about the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the first one, I love the way it was told story wise. With the I forgot her name. What's her name? Parker. She was the lieutenant who was helping you. She like narrated the entire thing from like the different species of the chimera to the fall of Britain. Like all that. I like how she narrated, and I would like that to be the style.
But that was at a time when World War games were really popular.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
hope the remake or the reboot doesn't go over the same old tropes that the originals did. Give me a completely different setting now. Don't take me back to World War anything. I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be in any fictional theater of war. It doesn't have to be in a theater of, it doesn't have to be based on a real theater of war. Like there's always there's always the temptation for Insomniac to go back to look at what they did. Like they themed it around, World War II, the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one seemed to be in the 50s. And then the third one seemed to be in the 60s. Kind of like how Wolfenstein does it.
Okay.
I don't want them to do that this time. You don't need to. Totally fresh ideas now. Totally fresh. I don't want to
Yeah.
see any World War II, nothing. I don't want it even connected to
Would you say
any real
modern?
war. Just make it its own game.
How about
Just make it.
modern?
No, because at the time when Resistance was first made,
Uh-huh.
it came at a time where that was the tropes. It was all about Call of Duty World. Remember, what was the Call of Duty games? Big Red. Remember on the PlayStation 2, and then they made Call of Duty 2 for Xbox 360, and then Call of Duty 3 on a PS3, and those days it was all about that theater of war. And so it was obvious for Resistance to have taken its start in that
Okay.
from those other games and what they were doing. But it doesn't need to do that now.
Yeah.
We're in a different time now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't even have to be based on any historical thing that happened in human history. It could be its own thing, its own story. Give me something totally fictional.
Okay. Yeah. Again, me personally, how they tell it again. I just want to be really invested into it, like the first one. The first one really had me invested just with the story, like the way they told it, with the narration and whatnot. So whatever period this really comes out with, I don't really think about
It
it
shouldn't have
matters.
a period. That's what I'm trying to say. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be periodic.
that I'm trying
It
to say
shouldn't
too.
be.
It doesn't matter for me if it does or not. I just want the
I
damn
feel like
name.
they if it does, I feel like they got their ideas. I feel
Mhm.
because if you're gonna reboot something, rebooting means rebooting.
Right,
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just remaking. If you make it, if they bring it back to
like
that
word
old
for
World
word, piece
War,
by piece, the
yeah, it's
same.
just
Yeah,
that's a remake. Then that's
yeah,
not a reboot. Reboot
right,
is
right, right.
different. Reboot is when it's the same franchise but told from a
Told
totally
differently, different
different
voice
perspective.
actors. Yeah.
Everything's different. It's like in name only. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the same. I mean, you'll love it, but it's really in name only. Like God of War could have been anything. If you put another character in there
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't Kratos, it would still have been an amazing game. But
Mm.
because it was on the back of Kratos, familiar name, mascot, it helped it. But it's still, but just playing as Kratos alone wasn't enough to make it an amazing game, is what I'm saying.
Right. New
You know what I
elements.
mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
exactly.
New
So if you're
elements.
gonna reboot, do a reboot. If you're gonna remake, call it a remake.
Okay.
Because if you do World War, if you revisit the same tropes you did in the first
So
games, that's a remake.
would you say add stuff like online co-op maybe, or co-op option, play along with a friend, that type of stuff, immerse you?
I think they should allow on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they're gonna reboot Resistance,
Yeah.
this is how if I was the games director, this is what I would create. I'd make it open world for one. I'd
Mm-hmm.
make it open world, and I'd make it that the open world is large enough to support up to 8 players to play co-op. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the story, the campaign. 8 players. So some players can go off and do side quests.
Mm-hmm.
Other players can further the main story. Now you'll all be featured in the main story, so everyone will know what's going on. But it means other people can get other jobs done, so you don't have that fluff problem. You know that padding problem you get in open world games,
Mm-hmm.
where you got to go this side of the map, that side of the map, and you
Yeah.
do it, and you realize there's no point in doing it. It's only
It's just
you're getting
filler.
a few extra credits maybe for doing it, or you might find a battle armor that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get the repeat armor or something weaker than what you already own that you're already wearing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow 8 players to play simultaneously in the same campaign mode, You lot could go off in pairs and do your quests together and meet up somewhere for the boss.
Hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you don't have to play as 8 players. Let it accommodate up to 8 players. You could have 4 players. You could play on your own solo. You could just play 2 of you. But I'd like that. I'd like an open world where other people can go off and take care of other jobs. Because games are asking a lot of your time these days.
Of course.
Open world games, they expect you to do all this other stuff as well. And some people don't do it. They just go and do the main quest. So a lot of your game's being wasted. So you should allow as many players to be in the same campaign story so that everyone gets to see everything. And whatever they find on side quests, you get as well.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing, you end up getting it too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And they get what you get. Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone gets to share the same stuff.
Okay. Says Deep Down ever coming to America? That was a tech demo, bro. That's not a real. That wasn't real at this point. That was a tech demo. The closest you get to Deep Down is Project Awakening, if I remember. That was the name of that game, and that game is I'm not sure when that game drops. I forgot when that game drops. So there was that, and he said Resistance is unique. It was unique. It did something different. It did a lot of different things, especially the weapons, the bullseye, the auger, all that was just sick. So. Again, I'm open to whatever the hell they do at this point when it comes to it. And there was another game. It was Crash Bandicoot. That was another one that was rumored going around. I'm guessing all these would be PS5, obviously, if they are legit happening. But yeah, that's what was going on there in terms of games. I think we covered everything. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about in terms of everything that's leaked. So,
do you know? I tell you another game I'd like.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I'd like to play a game where you play with your friend. Or no, there's 3 of you. Like 3 people can play the game, the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like let's say you're all robbers and you're a heist. You're doing heists and stuff, yeah? But one of you in the game, nobody knows who, because it's hidden from all players. One of you has to double cross the 2 players. And then the other 2 have to go and find him and take revenge. And still get the money. You find him hiding, you gotta go look for him. And the only way you
like a
can find
backstabber type role.
you gotta ask people, like you talk to NPC characters in different areas, like
sounds like Red Dead 2, yeah.
Descriptions and that. And then you find out where the guy is who double crossed you. But no one knows. Anyone can be randomly picked. And that's the aim of the game. You have to double cross. There's you can't say you're not doing it. You have to.
So
they make you play the game as buddies the whole time. And you get close with each other and you're cool, but then one of you has to be a bastard and a snake.
Right. So basically
like
Payday 2 with a hint of like Red Dead 2's betrayal, basically.
What's that?
Yeah.
So basically, you ever heard of Payday 2? Payday 2 or Payday?
Yeah, I know the Payday game. Yeah.
So like Payday, right? The heist game, but like with a mixture of like Red Dead 2 elements, like betrayal and whatnot.
Yeah, but a bit more substance. I don't want you just robbing heist. Like it's just game. It's a game with a story.
Right.
You're playing the game as co-op, but at some point in the game, that's what I'm saying. You meet people, you meet NPCs, but you're doing it together, and you all become close. So the game forces you to have a bond. So you the only way it will work is if everyone feels bonded within the same story, and then the computer at some point in the game. Like you get to a certain part of the game where you do your big hot job, and then the computer randomly picks one of you to do the dirty and run with the money. And then there's a time limit. There's a time limit for you getting away and for.
Okay.
And if you can keep the money before the time limit runs out, then you win the game.
Nice.
That'll be cool, man. That'll be good. But it's all wrapped up in a story, though. I don't want it just to be a multiplayer game where you're doing that.
Yeah.
A story, but there's a curveball that's thrown in.
Yeah.
They need to do these things to mix games up a bit because, seriously, I like the suspense and the thrill.
Yeah. What was his name? Rob64 said it wasn't that a mode in Kane and Lynch. I haven't even played that game. I can't confirm that. Kane and Lynch. Did anybody play Kane and Lynch? There was a mode like that, or was there a mode like that? I'm not sure.
I played Kane and Lynch. But I don't remember.
Yeah, I had a free demo of that. Never got around.
Oh, you never
I
actually
played
bought
them
it.
both. I don't remember having to. I don't remember any betrayal like that I had to do. There was betrayal in the game, but I don't remember person who's instigating it.
All right, all right. No, I'm just letting you see these deflection. So yeah, you pretty much do everything in the Star Wars game. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
But all right, I have no more topics, guys. Anybody you guys want to add anything else to the show? Anything else you
No,
want to talk
that's it. I
about that's
appreciate it,
happened?
and yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, sure. Foxy, anything you want to add? I know you're tired. I'm tired as hell too. I've been up
Well, I'm
since.
more than tired, man.
Well, all right. I will definitely shut it down for sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the show. Shout out to everybody who's new here. It was a lot of new faces, so welcome. Thank you. I hope you guys have enjoyed as well. And yeah, we'll see you next week, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Shout out to Carlos. I guess he either fell asleep or he had to work late, but you already know how that is. He had to stay on that grind. But I'm gonna let everybody do their outros, and we're gonna shut it down. Go right ahead, Craig.
Oh, hey, Big Cloud, thanks for having me, and pleasure being here with you and Foxy, and everybody play the game while the terrorists win.
All right, Fox.
That's a good one, Craig. What movie's that from? Sounds like a Die Hard movie.
Yeah, I think that's it's from a Saturday Night Live skit. I think that's all years ago.
SNL, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I have to say? The way I feel now, I don't know, man. People asking if there's going to be a gaming couch on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it to be, but if I was to say now, there won't be because I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, definitely.
No, but tomorrow I might not. Tomorrow I might say yeah, or Sunday. I want there to be one.
Yeah.
To answer now, the answer would be I'm not in the mood for the gaming couch.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying now. It's Friday night.
Of course.
Wrong time to ask. Of course, there's going to be a gamer couch. The only reason why there won't be a gaming couch is if I've had a heart attack and nobody's found me.
No God.
That's scary.
You went to the dark.
No, not
like,
having a heart attack isn't scary. Scary that nobody finds you.
Exactly.
That's scarier than having a heart attack.
This man went the dark road.
No,
go back to the light.
No, that means that nobody's fucking looking out for you.
Yeah.
Because if no one finds you, it means you ain't got no friends or family that give a damn about you.
Exactly. It's like that shit with that lotto winner. He won like 12 million and like he was loaning money to him and shit like that. He goes missing and not a single one gave a shit where he won. Those supposed to be his homies. His publicist killed him for the money, basically.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you talking about that black guy?
Yes, yeah, Abraham. I think it was ironic. His name was Abraham Shakespeare, right? What was his name? Abraham Shakespeare. So
Yeah, that's his full. That's exactly his name.
That was his name. So he.
I saw that story a couple
You saw
years
that story,
ago.
right? Like she buried him to a concrete slab, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like near her business. She claimed that she was trying to.
She was
get
a blonde,
pool.
wasn't she? Was she a blonde?
Yeah, she's a blonde. Yeah, she's a blonde. And she wanted to basically write a book on him. That was her whole gimmick. She's like, oh, I would like to write a book on you. And she gained his trust, and he legit fell for it. And it was crazy because the guy, again, apparently he was a cool guy. And but he never completed.
He was a very simple man.
Yeah, he never completed high school. He never and all
she took
that.
advantage of him.
Yeah. He wasn't good with money. People always just hustled him for money supposedly. And
when they recording stuff, when they trying to catch her, like they were hiding.
Yeah.
Recording equipment in like a drink container.
Yep. They had a dude. Yeah. They had a dude.
And there's a guy in the barber shop that said that she's behind it or something.
Yep. They had her all on camera. It was crazy. So that was a dark story.
Yeah.
Dark story.
Listen, when you got
listen, I'm gonna get off here because Xbox Live just gave me 6 months of Spotify Premium for free, so I gotta go sign up for it. So.
Listen, here's the thing in life. If you ever get anything like that, like lottery or anything substantial like that, you have to just quietly leave town and disappear because people who you even grow up with, who you think you're close to, they will plan for you, bro.
Facts.
They will plan to separate you from your joy. People that you grew up with, people that you look upon as your brother, because money changes people, boy.
Absolutely.
Seriously. So if you win that money, don't tell no one.
Oh
Keep
yeah.
your mouth shut. Don't have no publicity, images, photos in the press, nothing. Don't tell anyone. Just quietly move out one day. You're missing.
Yep.
And then just people you want in your life, you reach out to them,
Yep.
but you pick wisely because when you get that type of money, I'm afraid people always say, when people make it, they always move out because they have to fucking leave the hood.
Yep.
If they stay in the hood, they're gonna get someone gonna take them.
You know, the crazy thing about it is just I get it, dudes, but it's crazy how he kind of set himself up in a weird way. Like
You can't grow up poor. Listen, man.
Yeah.
You can't grow up in poverty with other people. Then suddenly you're the king, and no one's gonna plan to try and take your money. Come on now.
It's
You
bad.
can't have so much and be in a place with so little. You have to leave. Because no one's gonna let you rest. There's always gonna be a plan for you. So you better leave. It don't matter if you grew up there your whole life.
It's a deep
You
message
better
in it.
leave.
Yeah, it's a big message in it. It just it was just crazy. It was heartbreaking.
Listen, I would leave. I'd leave. I would just leave I'd leave the country. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would have.
I pick the country I want to live in. No one would know where I am. The only people that know where I am are those who I reach out to 6 months later after I've won and say, listen,
There you go.
I'm having very few people in my life. You're one of them. You're one of them. And I'll look after those few handful of people. I'll look after them. I'll make sure they never want for nothing. Because those few people, they will be the real ones.
Yep. There you go. Oh, obviously we're still alive. Let me shut it down. Sorry, guys. Shout out to y'all again.
Play games, not corporations.
Yeah, we'll talk about this off here. Shout out to y'all again. Thank you. And we'll see you next week.